And we are back. Hello everybody and welcome back to Mid-Ohio for the Mid-Ohio Semis. This is semi number 1 and we are going to introduce the randomized order for this semi. Up first on the pole, Pinocchio Young takes the pole in this semi number 1. Very impressive out of the young gun, alongside Max Anderson in the mistakenly transported car. But Anderson says the car's feeling nice today. We'll have to see if he's able to get out there and get the win in the semi. In row 2, it's Eric Monaco, who, after pitting late in Heat 1, has to go through the semis, but hopefully he'll make it through, alongside Benoit Ravine, who has been showing some definite grit over the past few races. We'll have to see if he can get it done today. In row 3 is Aiden Shepard, starting in that last transfer spot in 5th. Shepard has been performing as he did last season at Red Stallion, so we'll have to see, can he step it up today? Alongside PJ Karenko, who's actually out of a transfer spot. Can Karenko make up enough time to get to the front? Then it's Tommy Turbo in row 4, who, another person who hasn't been impressing many people this season, but has still been doing good enough, alongside Gerardo Ron, who has actually been pretty frustrated as of late, and is definitely looking for today to be the turnaround of his career. In row 5, we have Zach Smith, another Red Stallion racing driver. He finished pretty high at Tottering, but other than that, he hasn't been doing much, alongside Laughter Stucole, who ranked D, still not too impressive. And in the final row, it's Rob Mooney and John Bunnell. John Bunnell, the one-off driver for HHR, as HHR didn't do as well as they wanted to here. But we're about to get going. We're fired up, ready to go for semi number 1. 5 people will transfer through in 10 laps. Young starts on the pole in the FedEx Verizon number 11 Ford machine, as we're coming out to take the green flag. As green flag is out here at Mid-Ohio. Come barreling down, Anderson actually having more of a front stretch speed advantage because of that dodge. But it's going to be Young fending him off. 10 laps isn't much. 10 laps isn't even enough to get a lap car. So this is all about skill right now. Benoit almost got threatened by Shepard, but moves himself back into the 4th position, because he seems to be pretty much all alone. No, not close enough to reach 3rd and too far for 5th to reach. So he's just going to chill there. That last transfer spot, though, Karenko really wanting it. Who's going to want it more? Shepard in the lower ranked Dodge team, or Karenko in the higher ranked Dodge team? This is really going to show who's the better guy here. And Benoit Ravine is making moves. He's up to 2nd now. But he'll run it wide. You don't want to lose positions here because you don't got many to spare. He'll slip back into the 4th position as Monaco runs it wide and Benoit goes back into 3rd. And it looks like Gerardo Ron isn't far off. If they can get both of their Trailblazers who are in the semis into the main, then that would only leave DJ Curtis in semi 2 to finish the job. And there are those ranked Ds who, it's very unlikely that they'll get through, but they can only hope. Young, though, has gotten a substantial lead. As fastest lap, he got it by over 2 seconds, I believe. No, not over 2 seconds, but battle between Benoit Ravine and Eric Monaco for the 3rd position. Like I said, Benoit's been showing a lot of grit lately. He's been showing that he can get stuff done. It's just he needs to have a better team. Better car, is what I should be saying. He needs to have a better car. If he had a better car, he'd be an absolutely ginormous threat out here. He's already a threat out here, and he's only in a rank C. So if he was in a rank A, he'd be front running. easily. Gerardo makes the move for 7th, and now he'll be going for 6th on Karanko. So it's another rank A versus another rank C, and it's the 9 crews, the 9 and the 99. There's Turbo trying to close him behind. The only Team Flame Racing driver who did not qualify straight to the main through the heats. Definitely not impressing his team, as Roush, Arndt, and Fingai all qualified straight through their heats. Turbo did not. As one of the more impressive semis we'll be seeing later is going to be a battle between Rowe and DeMax, which should be fun. But Benoit Ravine still just trying to hold on to 3rd, as now Anderson starting to close that gap. That new design for today, he should be getting his better car by next weekend. His old car. Unless Anderson would want to keep it, but we'll see how he drives with it. Maybe it'll end up being a good luck charm. Right now, though, he's closing that gap on Young. Can Young, even though it technically won't be an official win, it will still be a win. No points awarded for it. Oh, Benoit runs it really wide. And that'll give Monaco the 3rd spot. Right now, that final transfer spot going to Aiden Shepard. Worst case scenario is if Karanko has to go through the LCQ. So, like, geez, a rank A in the last chance qualifier would just be a shocker. Sorry about that, there was a little bit of an interruption. Back to what I was saying, can Max Anderson actually catch up to the back of the 11 car? As Young has been impressing us all season long, he is in, like I've mentioned earlier, in the heats, he is in the Rookie of the Year position, but his Rookie of the Year contenders along with him, being Annie Thomas and Johan Arndt, have already gone through. His other contender, William Duncan, we will see in the next semi. So Young really needs to put on the pressure on these other Rookie of the Year contenders if he really wants Rookie of the Year. But he is coming around. Down this straightaway once again. Anderson doesn't look like he's catching anymore. Monaco does. As Karanko has gotten the position to the main, Shepard does not. So Shepard and Iran, if they want it, they both need to catch him. And there goes Anderson again, picking up this pace, and we're now down to about 6/10 and 5 laps to go next time around. But Monaco is even faster. Benoit is catching. Karanko is catching. They're out of the top 5. No one's really pulling any fast laps. Smith is. He's pulling 125.7. Mooney is 125.7. That's pretty impressive out of Mooney. But a 126 out of Shepard, that's not what you want to see. He's far off the pace. Max Anderson putting on the pressure, but he runs it wide. This closes Monaco to the back. Can Monaco somehow pull out the semi-win and move himself straight to the main? He's already in that position. But can he improve his position? As it seems that Karanko is kind of backed off the back of Benoit, as Shepard's starting to catch up to Karanko again. Yeah, there's definitely... you can definitely see the speed gap between the rank Bs and the rank A, as Young is more just holding them up, because Monaco is on his way. But then again, so is Benoit. Benoit is actually the fastest man on the track. Yep, Benoit, fastest car on track right now, as we have 5 laps to go now. As this is expected to be a very short race. It's not going to be long at all. As for the main events, that's a whole different story. There's actually been talk of decreasing the length of the main events, but that's going to be called another time. But it's going to be Benoit Ravine. Can he catch the back of these three? And will Karanko catch the back of him? They don't really have to worry too much because they are in transfer position, so they will go straight through. Unlike other people back here like Gerardo Ron, Tommy Turbo, and Aiden Shepard, they'll have to go through the LCQ. Oh, but Monaco runs it wide. This starts to catch Benoit. Right back up to the back of Monaco. Like I said, Benoit was the fastest car on track last time around. And he's looking fast now. But so is Anderson. Anderson has closed that gap a lot. Here comes Max Anderson. 1:24.5. He just pulled the fastest lap of the race. And and Anderson will go to the lead on lap 7. Max Anderson, he's one of the more inconsistent guys this season, but he's still very fast. Oh, but Karanko's starting to close that gap as well between him and Benoit. Oh, but it does not look like that Young is done just yet. Young putting on the pressure. One mistake out of Anderson and Young is back around. But a 1:24.565, that's really tough to top. Especially, we thought Monaco's was tough to top, but by 0.002 of a second, Anderson was able to top it. Here we go, up the hill once again. Good corners. What are the times looking like this time around? Anderson down that hill again. He's going to cross the line. 1:24.6, 1:25.7. That's amazing. That is outright amazing. The laps that Anderson is pulling. I didn't think he had that much juice left in him. Wow, but he is pulling really fast ones. Oh, got a little wide there. And now Young is faster down the straight. This is going to give Young that little bit of closing he needed. Now he's putting that pressure back on to Max Anderson. At this point, Max Anderson cannot make a mistake if he wants this semi-win. But the semi-win isn't amazingly important right now. What's important is getting yourself into the main. And is the speeds different? Nope, they're about the same speeds. But Monaco has also really closed that gap. Seems that this top 5 isn't going to budge, but they're a lot closer than they were in the heats, as this isn't really a landslide anymore. Which is exactly what we expected. As Young, 1:24.9, Young finally pulls his first 1:24 of the day. But Monaco appears to still be the fastest man on track. It's a very impressive lap out of Turbo, 1:25.0. That's the 6th fastest. Ooh, running it a little wide. That's going to catch Shepard. That's going to let Shepard get closer to Gerardo Ron, but I don't think these guys can have enough to catch up to Karanko. So it looks like Karanko is going to go through, but barely. Interesting story of last season. Benoit Ravine actually did miss out on the main event of this race by 1 spot in both the semis and the LCQ and 2 spots in the heats. So Benoit Ravine came really close to making the main last season in all 3 events, but just could not get it done. And finally, it looks like he is going to get it done here today, and he's going to move on to the main. through the semi no less, but they have good drivers up in the main already. They have Angel and they have Tauger, so you should expect good things out of them. But it's 1 lap to go for Max Anderson, and he will be the semi winner, and he will move his way into the main event. Keep himself safe, because not getting into the main can pretty much turn your championship around, and it looks like Max Anderson's championship is not over just yet, because he's going to move his way into the main. Fastest car last time around was indeed the leader, Max Anderson, 124.9. From there, it was Benoit Bervin into 125.008. Very impressive drive out of Pinocchio Young, able to hold off Max Anderson for as long as he did until Max Anderson really kicked it up a notch. But as long as he doesn't make another mistake, he will move himself. He will move himself to the main in the second position out of the semi, which won't put him in an amazing position, but it will put him in one that's good enough, as this will be on the 14th row. But right now, 2 corners to go. And it's going to be Max Anderson is going to be able to take it away here in Mid-Ohio semi number 1. Pinocchio Young will take second, Eric Monaco will take third, Benoit Bervin fourth, and Karanko will take the final transfer spot in fifth. Shepard will have to go through the LCQ, Gerardo Ron will have to go through the LCQ, and Tommy Turbo will have to go through the LCQ. Other people back here, Zach Smith, he pulled some pretty fast laps near the end, but just could not catch up at all. After Stu Cole, Ron Mooney, and John Bunnell we will see in the LCQ as well. Not a lot of hope for those rank Ds to get through the main, but there's 10 slots to get into the main and 8 of those drivers, so yeah, so they're probably not going to make it. But that is all for semi number 1. You don't really have to go to finishing results, to be honest. We already know who's moving on and who is not. Max Anderson, Pinocchio Young, Eric Monaco, Benoit Bervin, and Karanko, we will see them in the main event in their respective rows. We're going to go to semi 2 in just a moment. Good job to these 5. They're moving on to the main. And we are back once again at Mid-Ohio. Once again, semi number 2. Welcome back to the action. Oh, God. As semi number 2. Semi number 1, decently action-packed, much more than I thought it would be. But on the pole for semi number 2 is Philip Scott, the 3-time winner in the Sunoco League Series Season 1. Didn't have an amazing season last season, even though he got 3 wins. There wasn't really much consistency, which is why he never even got into the final 6. But he's alongside Eugene DeMax, who's still on that bad luck streak. In row 2, we have Alexander Rowe, I believe the only rank A in this semi, alongside William Duncan. In row 3, we have DJ Curtis, sitting in that last transfer spot alongside Hans Windhelm. In row number 4, we have Josh Trainer, the team owner for Spark Auto Racing, alongside Sebastian Morandi. In row 5, we have Gatlin Downey. Funny thing, Gatlin Downey is not a girl. I made a huge mistake, and I highly apologize for that. Gatlin is a man. Good. But he starts on row 5 alongside Ryan Monaco, who his career could be better at the moment. And on the final row, we have Cordell Paulson, who has carried HHR so far this season, alongside Darren Weber. That is your field as we're getting set to go green once again. And then we'll be going to the LCQs, where we'll see the last of these drivers go through to the main event, and 10 people will be knocked out of it. As we're about to go green, The car should roll. There they go. I was waiting for that. But it's going to be Philip Scott. It's been a long time since we've seen him out front, and he's finally going to get his chance to lead again. The legend himself, Philip Scott, will lead him to the green flag in semi number 2. Green flag is out in the semis. Amazing start out of Eugene DeMax. Wow, that was fast off the start. As DeMax is actually able to clear Philip Scott out of turn 1. As Eugene DeMax coming down into turn 2. Taking a little wider line than everyone else. We'll see if that works. We are incident free. This is exactly what I expected. We expect a landslide out of the top 5 because all these ranked Ds back here compared to these guys. As DJ Curtis sitting at the back of this pack. There goes Gatlin. He's off the track. DJ Curtis, the only trailblazer who... No, wait, Gerard Aron did not qualify, but DJ Curtis could get in, then all they have to worry about is Gerard Aron getting through. So getting him through to the main through here would be best case scenario. Well, best case scenario was getting him through the heats, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Alright, it's right now Curtis versus Duncan on track, which is something I didn't think we'd see. And now it's Trainer versus Curtis. If Trainer can get himself through, straight through the semis, that would be amazing for him. I don't think Curtis is going to give that to him. DJ Curtis. Down that long stretch. Eugene DeMax. This is what we expected out of Eugene. Out front, just pulled the fastest lap by 1.1 seconds. DJ Curtis just trying to hold on. Alright, now we head up the hill. Will Philip Scott be able to hold off Alexander Rowe in the hunt? Okay, Philip Scott's return to the Sunoco Elite Series is definitely something a lot of people anticipated because, like I said, he was one of the legends of Season 1 alongside James Constantin. Those two pretty much dominated the field, and after Season 1, Philip Scott just dropped out. Now he's back once again, Sonic Mania number 8 car. But right now, Alexander Rowe trying to catch. But, oh my god. Eugene DeMax, 5/10 faster. This has got to be, honestly, this has got to be a confidence booster, at least a little right now. Because Eugene DeMax has had a horrible bad luck streak near the entire first half of this season, and right now, he is absolutely dominating this semi. And another impressive thing, Philip Scott is in between rank B and rank C. It's one of the only, it's a very unique car that it's not in any specific rank. If I were to put it in one, it would be a B-. But even though he's low, he's still able to hold off what is Alexander Rowe. As now, Curtis still holding that last spot as, DeMax ran it wide. That's still not that huge of a problem because he's still absolutely dominating this match. Right now, Rowe still has got to get past Philip Scott if he wants any chance. And with the pressure coming behind by DJ Curtis and William Duncan, especially William Duncan. Duncan has closed that gap 3/10 on both of them. Actually, fastest car on track is William Duncan, as Trainer. 125.8. That is 1/10 off of Alexander Rowe. Jeez. Settle down, Trainer. He is on the move. As it was recently announced that Josh Trainer will most likely be retiring at the end of the season, which it's sad to see him go. But we hope to be seeing a new driver in that team spot, as Trainer will not be retiring from the team. He will be up in the box after the season, directing the drivers instead, mainly because of this mainly because of the limiting of the cars per team from 4 to 3. There's really no space for him anymore, so he decided to go in the box. They may be putting a close friend of his on it, but that's still unconfirmed, so we won't release any further information. DJ Curtis, though, trying to start out his career in the Sunoco Elite Series well. 125.705. That would be the 5th fastest. Surprise, surprise. And still, Eugene Max. Landslide. Oh my. Oh yeah, this is a hell of a confidence booster. This is how you turn your bad luck streak around. Wow. I am impressed by DeMax's performance. And there's Philip Scott. Up the hill. Still, for a car that bad, for staying in second in a Chevy, he is doing remarkably well. And that's what you'd see out of Philip Scott. It's Philip Scott. Biggest legends of the sport right now. But will his return to the Sunoco Elite Series be good enough? As the stewards are unsure whether they will be giving him a rank C or rank B, which is why he's in the middle right now. This is the deciding race for him. Since he's the only Scott Ganassi car, he still has all that money saved up from last season. It matters how much he gets right here, right now. Sorry about that. Philip Scott. This is the deciding factor for Philip Scott, because how high he goes in the main event will determine where he will sit in Season 2, whether it be rank B or rank C, along with how the other drivers do as well, since the money gap is mostly dependent on that. But Philip Scott definitely has the potential to get his team into rank B, but it's still going to take a great finish to do so. But right now, he's about to move himself onto what should be the 14th row in the main, alongside Pinocchio Young, which will be decent. Not going to be absolutely amazing, but it'll be about 26th, which ain't bad. Or not. He runs it wide. Here comes Alexander Rowe for second, as he closes that gap down. Rowe putting on the immense pressure right now. How well can he defend? Enough. As there's DJ Curtis. Still just pulling what laps he can to 125.652. That means he's starting to improve. Oh my. DeMax, how are you still this fast? Lap 7 and Eugene DeMax is still pulling 125.0s. He recently pulled a 124.9. There's Philip Scott second. DJ Curtis looks like he's going to go through. Trainer really fighting. Let's go on board with Trainer for just a minute. And yeah, he's got to catch all that gap up to the back of Josh Trainer. There's Josh Trainer watching that battle up ahead from that E-Cola number 15 can. A mistake at a Duncan could definitely close that gap, though. But Curtis is running it pretty well for a rookie performance. For a first race ever, he's not doing too bad. The mark to beat for that kind of rookie performance would be, technically speaking, a first from Season 1, but when it comes to the differences between car ratings, the rookie performance goes to Pinocchio Young, which was his debut. He got 11th. So if you want to beat his rookie performance, you got to get 11th or higher. Curtis right now would be starting in, wow, 17th row, about 34th place. Not very good. Yeah. So he's got a lot of work to do. But now let's go on board with Alexander Rowe, because he is tailing the back of Philip Scott. Any mistake out of Philip Scott will cause Alexander Rowe to rocket right around him. Through this S-bend. Okay. No mistake, though. As in these semis, you're not going to see many mistakes. That's not something you'll see. Mainly because there's not many people around to pressuring you into making mistakes, because usually the pack's all scrunched up everywhere you look. But there's only 12 people here on track, so it's not like you're expecting something big to happen, because you really won't. As here comes William Duncan, actually, on row. This would be for third, which will be a whole 2 positions in the main. So to them, it kind of matters a little. Not amazingly, like said in Semi 1, it doesn't matter too much because you did make it through. Oh my! Duncan, it's not that important. Settle. Wow, that almost turned into both of them going out into the infield. And that would have given Curtis third and Trainer fourth. That could have ended horribly. Don't be irresponsible like that, folks. Don't do that. That would have been a more stern penalty than not qualifying. That probably would have automatically not qualified him for the main no matter what. So, yeah. As Trainer actually did get that penalty from the heats after, that initial crash, but it doesn't matter anymore because he really didn't have a chance of qualifying through the heats anyway. So they put it on his resume, but it really doesn't matter too much. Doesn't even look like he's going to be qualifying through the semis, but 1 lap to go for Eugene DeMax, and he's still pulling 125 ones. Somehow. As your top 5 remains, Eugene DeMax. Said it twice already, and I'll say it again. This is going to be a ginormous confidence booster for Eugene DeMax. Not only going into the main event, but going into the rest of the season. This definitely has to be an improvement to his confidence. Knowing that he's leading Alexander Rowe 4th in points by 7 seconds. That's just got to be a great feeling. Maybe he'll be a huge threat to win and be the 2nd Sunoco Royale champion, which would put CJ Racing at number 1 in the Sunoco Royale 2 seasons in a row. But he's got his teammate Chris Dodd to worry about. He'll run it wide. He don't care. He's got it locked. Unless he crashes, he's got this locked. Rowe runs it wide. Duncan, they all know they've got it, so I'm guessing they're just running it wide just to be safe. 2 corners to go. And Eugene DeMax is going to take semi number 2 victory, and he's moving straight to the main as he hits the line, 125.4 being his last lap time. Philip Scott is going to take 2nd, Alexander Rowe 3rd, Duncan 4th, and Curtis will move straight to the main in 5th. Josh Trainer will miss out by 1 spot. He'll have to go to the LCQ. So, that's yet another one. DeMax gotta be enjoying it right now. as he coasts around the track. Great job, Eugene to Max. That was just a beautiful performance. Not amazingly fast lap times, but good enough to get him a gap. Philip Scott did a lot of that work there, just getting Eugene to Max that gap. But confidence is what he's going to be carrying out of this mostly. And a ticket to the main. We'll see you in the LCQ in just a moment. Congratulations to those 5 making it straight to the main. And we are back here once again for one more round around Mid-Ohio. Before we move to the main events, we are here at the LCQ last chance qualifier for the Mid-Ohio qualifications. And on the pole for this is Tommy Turbo. As for Team Flame Racing, he hasn't really been performing too well as his comrades made it through the heats. And he's stuck down here in the LCQ alongside Gerard Oran, who's been doing pretty much the same for his team. He's the last member that needs to qualify through. Row 2, surprisingly, is Laughter Stu Cole and John Bunnell, as the ranked Ds were able to bring out Row 2, which is a high confidence booster for them because this ups their chances of getting one of them through. Josh Trainer and Rob Mooney in Row 3, and then it's Zach Smith and Aiden Shepard on Row 4. These two have just... they didn't perform in qualifying. They made mistakes out of both of them, and the 2 Red Stallion cars are in high jeopardy here today. On Row 5, it's Sebastian Morandi and Cordell Paulson. In Row 6, it's Ryan Monaco and Darren Weber, and on Row 7 is Hans Windhelm and Gatlin Downey. As we're getting ready to go green, got about 30 seconds to talk about this, but Aiden Shepard and Zach Smith very much in jeopardy of getting knocked out, as only 4 people will go through the LCQ out of the 14 people participating. So 10 people will not qualify for the main. In that position off the start, Turbo, Gerard Oran, Laughter Stu Cole, and John Bunnell. There's the command. Stu Cole and Bunnell, their first season in Season 1, they both were in the full career, unlike this season where it's only Stu Cole, but this gives them high hopes for next season, as they may actually do well here at Mid-Ohio, but it'll be Tommy Turbo having the show right now as he's coming around the last corner, and green flag is out for the last time at Mid-Ohio before we move to the main events. Off into turn 1, very even off the line, but because of that turn 1, Turbo is going to be able to get the lead away. Shepard did not get the start he wanted, but Zach Smith did. Smith is wasting no time. He has got to get into the top 4, as he's got 3 ranked Ds ahead. He's going to move down the inside of Mooney. That's for 5th. He's almost there. Shepard's on his way. But there goes Trainer. Trainer's causing troubles. As right now, Tommy Turbo getting away. As Gerard Oran, there's little talk about maybe him jumping the start, but since Turbo got it in the first corner, they might let him go on this. Unsure. Zach Smith running it wide. You don't want to do that right now, Smith. The pressure is getting to him. There goes Trainer. Your top 4 right now: Tommy Turbo, Gerard Oran, Laughter Stu Cole, and Rob Mooney. HHR is pulling the best race of their life right now. They're hanging on for dear life, have 2 of their drivers in a qualifying position. Spark Auto Racing can't be happy, as Trainer still right behind Smith. But Shepard is really slow. He is 3rd to last. Monaco in the pits for damage, and Ryan Monaco will be out. Officially, Ryan Monaco will not make the Mid-Ohio Main, I believe, for the second season in a row. Tommy Turbo and Gerardo Run, these two are the two that seem to be the people who will take it by a landslide, who are pretty much going through no matter what. Comes down to the people behind. Smith, now working on Bunnell. Oh, but he's running it wide again. The immense amount of pressure that Smith has got to be feeling, he's not in a good position. He's got to be scared that he might not make it. But he's making his moves. Here comes Smith on Bunnell. That's for 6th. No, it's for 5th. Now all he's got to do is get around Mooney, and he has made it to the main. It is the opposite for Aiden Shepard, the 2-time winner in the Sunoco Elite Series, may not make the main. Actually, right now, it seems like it's pretty much guaranteed. I don't think he's got it in him. Smith is on a rampage right now, as Shepard is sitting behind being patient. I'm sorry. There are times where you can be patient in this series, but now is not the time. Zach Smith closing that gap. He's right on the back of Mooney. Any mistake out of Mooney, or even no mistakes out of Mooney, and Mooney will probably be overtaken. But a mistake out of Smith is going to help Mooney. There goes Turbo and Aran up the hill. Ari's trying to put a gap. Mooney still able to hold on. He needs to keep his qualifying position if he wants a chance in the main. This would be a saving grace for this team. But right now, Zach Smith is breathing down their team's neck. He wants a qualifying spot. And here comes Zach Smith for the final transfer position. It's Mooney versus Smith. Oh, Mooney's going to put a little contact. It's a drag race. If Mooney can hold on the outside, which I don't think he will. No. Now what does Mooney do? How much does he fight back? Oh, and there's Mooney's chance once again, and Mooney goes back by. The rank D driver, one of literally the worst in the league, has gotten himself back in a transfer position. Zach Smith has got to be frustrated, but Aiden Shepard is pretty much done. He's got nothing. The only one who has any chance right now is Zach Smith. Can he separate him? Another thing. Turbo and Gerardo Run, this battle starting to heat up, as the gap is only about a second. But that's not the main battle on the track. This is the final transfer spot, as it's an army behind, as Shepard is just not doing good. I don't think we're going to be able to see the Super Speedway King in the main in Mid-Ohio. As Rob Mooney down that little hill, and now they're going to go up the big one. How long can he hold on for before Zach Smith finally makes that move? I don't think it'll be long. Another thing is these guys are actually beginning to catch. Windhelm pulled a 125.1, which is... was that 125.1? 126.1, which is still very impressive out of his car. It's faster than Aiden Shepard's fastest. And Mooney may make the move on his teammate and team owner to get himself into the main. .125.9. Mooney is pushing so hard, he's cracked the 125s. He is really pushing that car to its limits. As Gerard Aron has recently pulled a lap faster than Eugene DeMatt's fastest, which is pretty impressive. Oh my, they are really battling now. I don't think the guys behind have any chance. Here comes Smith again. He's gonna try once again for this move. But teammates helping each other should push Smith wide. And this gives Mooney a gap. Smith has got to be feeling it now. He knows that it's all in jeopardy. He's got to just put it all on the line. Oh, but he's starting to run wide in more corners. As for this battle, the gap has got to be shortened from 9/10 now. No, stays about the same. But this gap, he's finally got some space. 126.9 out of Smith last time, and 126.6. 26.4 out of Sunoco. Oh my, Shepard now might start going to rampage. He knows he's got to put it all on the line as well. All right. As Sunoco now trying to hold it off for third from Mooney, but Mooney's trying to hold it off from Smith. Oh my, this is so very close. I think this is going to come down to the wire, whether it be Mooney or Smith or even Sunoco who doesn't make it. Sunoco is basically a sitting duck to his teammate and to Zach Smith. The rank B driver versus the rank Ds. As now, we're coming to 3 laps to go, and the 2 rank Ds are still in the position to move on. It seems that Bunnell, Weber, and all the Spark Auto Racing cars are not going to get their chance today. And Aiden Shepard, devastatingly, is going to go out in the LCQ and is not going to make it. But Zach Smith, this is the 3rd time he has tried this move. Will it be 3rd time? Sunoco runs it wide! They're 3 wide for 3rd! Oh, it may have worked out for Smith, and it worked out for Mooney, but it didn't work out for Sunoco. What happened there? Oh my! Boy, did that get exciting for the moment. Let's go look at that move one more time. What a move it was! Zach Smith would dive down the inside of Rob Mooney. Mooney would try to hold us on the outside, but Sunoco, not knowing which lane to block, would make a mistake and run wide himself. And this would move Mooney into the 3rd position. It would move Smith into the 4th position, and it would put Sunoco out of a transfer spot straight from 3rd. This is the opposite of what Sunoco needs. What an exciting LCQ we have. Now all they have to do is hold on. But there goes Smith, running wide. Here comes Sunoco again! Oh, they almost hit the tire barrier! 2 laps to go! And it looks like Mooney has the gap he needs. But now he's got no teammate help. Which on a straightaway, you need a help from a teammate to defend from Zach Smith. Unless Smith makes a mistake, I don't think Sunoco has a chance. He's gonna have to roll all 7s right now if Sunoco wants to get this. He's gonna have to get every corner perfect and hope that Smith makes a huge mistake. But it doesn't seem like he will, as the battle between Turbo and Jordan just never heated up. I'm not sure if they called a truce or if they just if Jordan can never contest with Turbo's rank B speed. But oh my god, out of a shocking turn of fate, Sunoco will not make it. He's not gonna be able to. 1 lap to go. Turbo starts pulling some fast ones. And just to rub it in a little more, Mooney's starting to push as hard as he can, just to put as much of a gap on Smith as he can, trying to get away at least a little. He only lost half a tenth that last time around, which is very impressive. Rob Mooney. Wow. Oh, that was very exciting. Tommy Turbo, though. From the start, I told you guys these two would get it by a landslide, and that's exactly what just happened. Ooh. Here comes Gerard Aron. No, there's no chance. Gerard is not going to get his chance. It's going to be Tommy Turbo. Gerard is really pushing it now. 2 corners to go. And Tommy Turbo, in the last chance qualifier, is going to be able to finally make his way into the main. He wins the LCQ. Gerard Aron gets second. And because of that very twisted turn of fate, Rob Mooney is going to get through in the rank D ride in 3rd, and Smith will barely make the cut in 4th. And devastatingly, Aiden Shepard will not make the main. He will finish 12th in the LCQ and will not be moving on. Horrible luck for Aiden Shepard. As for the others, it's all the other rank Ds here with Shepard, as they aren't moving on as well. Sunoco. Wow, let's go on board with Sunoco and what happened at the end there. A few onboard views here. We're going to get a view of all of them. But this is Zach Smith, as he would duck down the inside of Mooney. What a move it was. Wow. He didn't know which move to block. He tried to go up, realized Smith was there, and boosted out of it. Smith looked like he had it, but Mooney decided to say he didn't, and Mooney took it away. Rob Mooney's view coming down this. As he's got Smith at the inside, and just all of that unfolded right before Mooney's eyes, and Mooney would have a clear track ahead of him. This is the only view we could do, because this is the way you could tell how devastating this was. Didn't know which lane to block. Oh. Made a small mental mistake and just watches his chances at the main event slip from his fingertips. Got one final attempt. He got an attempt there, and then he got an attempt right here. As Smith ran wide, this was his final chance to get it on Smith, and he wasn't able to get it done. And it'll be Mooney and Smith moving on to the main as well. What an LCQ it was. And what a day. As we will hopefully, let's just skip it. As we will hopefully, as they did say that they will probably reduce it from 50 to 40, maybe 30, because they feel like 50 is way too long. But that's up to them, as it's not what we're concerned about right now. Rob Mooney, wow. What a great job he did defending from Zach Smith. And a great ride he pulled. As we're going to see you guys in the main event. That'll be for another day, though. As you guys got to watch the semis and now the LCQ. That was action-packed. And, oh, congratulations, Rob Mooney. Moving on to the main event, the only rank D. And we'll see you guys in the main events. Ciao. This is the deciding race for him. Since he's the only Scott Ganassi car, he still has all that money saved up from last season. It matters how much he gets right here, right now. Give me just a moment. Shut your mouth!